Hey guys, and welcome back to Trucking with Jazz. So I'm having a video. By the title, I know you clicked on to see that I am going to talk about the things you should consider to become a truck driver. And the first thing I'm going to say is I'm with WS Transport. That's the company I work for. I'm a company driver with my wife. We team on the FedEx contract account for FedEx Ground, and we run roughly like 3 different routes so far. We have ran 4, but we do a consistent of 3 routes that we have seen so far. So let's get into it, guys. All right, I say the first number. I actually listed a few things, so we're gonna go through the list. So the first, and I actually jotted it down. So if you see that I'm not paying attention to the camera, that's because I'm looking down here to communicate with you guys. I don't want to miss anything. All right. So the first thing I feel you should consider when you want to consider becoming a truck driver is your lifestyle. Okay. What do you envision as a truck driver? Well, how do you see yourself as a truck driver, right? Some people think of a truck driver and they think, I'm traveling the world, which you do. You get to see the United States in a different way that you never seen it before. For me, I'm a Miami girl, Miami, Florida, and I went to a few states, but I had never seen the country the way I seen it now being a truck driver and have experienced getting off the truck to actually visit different stuff. So the first thing I feel like is making sure that, like, family-wise, like, your structure. If you're a single person, it may not be too hard to adjust to being away. I know it's companies that you can look into that's locally. If you're talking about going to school, if you're talking about maybe some in like school financial aid, sometimes paid for. Sometimes like the career source, like different government agencies or state agencies have programs in place that will cover you to become a truck driver. A lot of people, which the route I took was to go through the company, and I committed 1 year with them to become a truck driver for the training, so that mistakes change. It worked out for me and my wife. Kudos to that. So I would say, like I stated, consider the family, like your thoughts, how you envision yourself as a truck driver. Now let's get to the more serious stuff. The big thing for me, or I would say like the number one thing, is picking a company. Picking a company that offers the things that you need. Everybody say, okay, I want to become a truck driver, right? And you go look into this, you're looking up companies. You may put local companies in your area, whatever, right? And you pick in Florida, and a few companies come up. Do your research. See what that company offers. Call around. Verify how do they do their training program. When I went with Prime, it was just me and my wife with our first trainer, and when we went to our second trainer, it was just me and my TNT trainer, which is basically the over the road portion of the training. So it's other companies out here that have 3 and 4 people in the truck training at the same time with you, and this is on the beginning portion where you're learning maneuvers, where you're touching the truck for the first time, learning about the truck, where you're trying to obtain your CDL. So that may not work for you. Not everybody not everybody learn the same way. You have kinetic learners, you have audio learners, you have visual learners, and when you throw a bunch of people together and you may have a trainer that don't properly know how to train, or know how to train but don't know how to handle like a big group like that, and maybe, it's not an option where that trainer gets to select how many students. In most cases, where I came from, the trainers that was training us was able to put how many people they wanted to put on the truck at one time. At Prom, I did see 4 people at once, like in a truck with a trainer, but that was how that trainer wanted to run it. Thankful for me and my wife, we didn't have to go through that, and it was just me and her and our trainer, and it was awesome. It was just really awesome. Okay, so make sure that you're looking into the company. Look at what they offer. Like I stated, if you're a female driver and you want to be a part of a company that is with other, that have female instructors, or maybe, that have female drivers driving for the company. Look at people reviews and how they view the company. Do they feel, is people talking about the company and, in a good way? Do they have a good reputation? It's so much data out here where we can go and search, guys. We can search and find out, like, have the company been in good standings? Have they been having lawsuits? Are they, do they drivers drive reckless? Looking into the website, seeing what kind of vehicles they drive and what year, how long do they run their vehicles? All those things you want to be aware of. There's nothing wrong with calling a recruiter and asking all those different questions. We will hope that they don't be lying to us, because the whole thing is to set us up for success, right? And ultimately, I don't want nobody telling me what I want to hear and get me over here, and then it's not what they told me. With that being said, like I stated, those are like the main premise. Like, make sure you get in the best, as much information as possible to make informed decisions. Like, find out about how their pay structure work, how their hometown work. Another big one. We're gonna move on to something else, right? So make sure you got your eggs in a row, your ducks in a row, when it comes to finding out about the company, how the company function. Look up who their CEO is. You may feel like, oh, that is not important. That stuff is important, especially if you're trying to come on, get your CDL, and grow with this company. That was my intention when it came to Prime E. It was not to go leave. It was not to company hop. I saw myself being there long term, and then, things happen and that changed. So that's the first, like, major thing. Like, see yourself as a truck driver. What is it that you want to become? And then, like I stated, look into the company. See how they are structurally, how the pay works. Do you get paid for training? Come up with different scenarios. If you don't know the scenario, I'll give you one. Like, hey, if I'm with this, if I'm with my trainer needs to go home for a week, and I'm available to work, will I still get paid? Prime still paid us in training our $900 when the trainer was unavailable to train us, but we were available to work. Now, you may get brought back to the terminal, maybe you will get dropped off home, but you still are available to work. So you make sure you have, like, your training, the important people that they sign you up with. You make sure that you get those numbers, and don't be afraid to ask questions. If you sit here and you don't ask questions, you will be in situations where you'll say, dang, I didn't get paid for this, and they say, well, you didn't let us know, and it'll be your loss, and you don't want to be in situations like that, guys. Okay, the next step I would say is verify what it is that you would like to do. That's why I say envision yourself. How do you see yourself? Learn more about the trucking industry, as far as we have company drivers, we have lease ops, and we have owner ops. Know the difference. Know where it is. Look into where it is that you want to do, where you want to be, and really figure out what you feel is best for your situation. For you as a driver, of course, some of this stuff you may not know. If I want to be an owner-op or company driver, it may, you got to look at the pros and cons. You may say, I want to be a company driver because it keeps me away from liability. When you are owner-op, you have all liability. When you a lease-op, you have a little liability on you. When you a company driver, you kind of cover, because all those expenses that we focus on, you don't have to focus on as a company driver. Outside of operating machinery, the truck safely, making sure you're doing your pre-trip and your post-trips, making sure you communicate anything that's going on in an effective manner, in a timely manner, and you will be fine. But far as like heavy hitter stuff that owner ops have to deal with, and these ops, you know, the maintenance that goes into it. Like, maybe that's not something you would want to do right off bat, and that's fine. You got to start somewhere, but it's good to know. If you do decide to go any of those routes, as far as a lease or on off, you want to also look at, what is it that I need to do that? So a lot of people think, okay, I can be an independent contractor, which independent contractors are people that usually make less than $50,000, and you fall independent contract. You basically are self-employed, like 1099. But what makes it a difference in the sense of, if you should become an entity like a LLC or an S or corporation, an Inc., anything like that, goes with the money factor, and it also goes with, meaning the tax bracket you fall in, and it also goes with the way you want to file, the way you structure your business. So independent contractors, that's Uber drivers, that's Walmart Spark drivers, that's Lyft drivers, they can fall under independent contractors. They're not making over $100,000, so to their offense, they don't have to have an LLC. You could just be a regular 1099 worker and you fine. There's other companies where you could be a 1099 worker and they list you as an independent contractor and you make more money. But like in my case, I went ahead and became an LLC because I knew I was gonna make over $100,000, which I did. Did I net that? No. But I made over $269,000 on my truck, and that is really, really a good reflection. You want to establish your business like that, showing that you can gross those big revenues, even though you have a lot of expenses in your net and your profit. You know, at the end of everything, you're paying all your taxes, maybe lower than that, maybe $90,000. You still want to be able to show that your business can grow and make money. And each year as you run and you run hard, you know, you may make $300,000, $400,000. It just depends. But like I stated, you want to make sure that you verify how you should set up your business. If you need a business, you know, you need to find all that stuff out. You don't want to get caught and thinking, you don't want to just get caught up when it comes to that stuff. So make sure that you like ask questions regarding that. When I came to Prime, I know I didn't want to be a company driver. I already had heard about lease, and I went ahead and became a lease driver and formed my LLC because, one, my trainer, my T&T trainer, was a lease driver, and he told me the benefits of it. Two, I knew the benefits of being an LLC and the kind of money we was gonna make. So I just knew that was the route I wanted to take, and I wanted my freedom. I wanted the freedom of having choice to pick my loads, deny my loads. Company drivers cannot deny their loads. They have to go where the company send them, and they cannot take time off. They have to do a regular request to take time off, and I wanted the freedom to get off the truck whenever I felt like. So that was awesome for me. All right. Another thing to consider before becoming a truck driver is, like, you know, how often you want to go home time, right? So if you chose to go a route like being a company driver, sometimes you have to, you know, be out for 6 weeks at a time before you can go home. Maybe they can accommodate you with emergencies, but what if they can't? What if you're in a situation where, you know, they need you on this load, but you just feel mentally like gone? Some companies don't even have structures in place that if you're dealing with mental health issues, hey, this is the resources we have. I always refer to Prime, guys, because I'm talking from my personal experience. I do not hate Prime. I'm just emphasizing on, it was a company that I enjoyed working for, and I had my ups and downs with them, but they had a lot of resources and things at your fingertips that really allow you to thrive. And if you're doing what you're supposed to do, and you're running the way you're supposed to run, and you set up your little eat fun and save money, you can do a lot of things. You can do a lot of things. Fast forward. Home time is something very important that you got to pay attention to. Let me not make the video too long because I don't want to overwhelm you. It's a lot of information, but guys, hang in there with me, and thank you so much for listening. Okay, this is good information. Another thing to consider: where do you want to be? Or do you want to be a person that's far away? Do you want to be over the road in California today, in Las Vegas tomorrow, in New York 2 days from now? Like, do you want to be over the road? That's over the road driving. Do you want to be regional? That's like Midwest. Or you run in the Southeast region, or you run in the Northeast region. What is Southeast? That's Florida, Georgia, Alabama. You know, like that's the southern part of the state, of the country. The Northeast is like, Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey. That's the Northeast side. Midwest is, of course, is like, going Missouri, Kentucky, Iowa. Yeah, that's like the Midwest. Okay. But do you want to be regional? And then finally, do you want to be local? Local is exactly that. You get up, you head out, you run to your, a 400-mile distance radius, and then you come back. It just really depends. Or maybe you gotta hit 10 stores working for Coca-Cola, or 18 stores at the beer mill, or something like that. But knowing what it is that you want to do, what's your expectation, what your limits are, you will be challenged in so many ways when it comes to trucking. People don't think it because they just think you get in the truck and that's it. No, baby, safety. The pre-trips, inflating the tires. Tires increase lose. It gains air and lose air depending on the temperature, and you can have blowouts. I've been seeing a lot of blowouts with FedEx, and all that come to my mind is like people driving really, really fast when the tires when the tires don't have proper air. It causes a lot of heat to come from it, and it can blow out the side. Like, you just don't want to have that problem. So make sure you guys doing your post and pre-tracks. Okay, let's get back to it. So you want to also ask yourself, like, can I grow with this company I selected? That's when back to what I was saying about making sure that envision what you want to do, where you want to be. Have those thoughts in your mind, even if you don't have it all planned out. I'm a person, I overanalyze, so I'm always planning, and planning. Okay, everybody's not like that, but these are things you should really, really be thinking about. It's imperative. You need to know or have an idea of what you want to do. Trucking is fun, but it is dangerous. Okay, you're risking your life for, I won't say a little bit of money, but for a fraction of some money, okay? And you just want to make sure that this is something you really want to do, and it's just not on, everybody's out here to make money, but maybe truck driving may not be your passion, but like I said, have a plan, because time will fly, and if you're wasting money not doing what you need to do and setting yourself up, you can find yourself out in 70, 80, 90, let me not say 90, but 70, pushing 80 out here, not because you want to be out here, but because you have to be out here. There's a lot of truck drivers that are, dealing with that because, maybe they had a good year this year and they maxed out their income, and all this stuff that they wanted to get. And that's fine. And then the next year, money wasn't coming in, the same way. So, make sure you budget in. And, oh my God, guys, be organized. Make sure you're being attentive and organized. Make sure you are checking the weather, checking your routes, knowing the different loops, knowing what the ramps are. Look, when you become a truck driver and you're a truck driver, that's stuff that you need to be thinking about. And I know this video is about things you should consider before should consider when becoming a truck driver. But after you decided that you want to become a truck driver, your whole life is gonna change. us who are riding by these expressway signs, not paying attention to the mile marker because we're just driving in our cars, but how it's imperative and important that when we riding by this mile marker and we just had a blowout, we know what we are. You know, that you know your north and your east from your south and your west. When you know, like what state is you northbound, is you going westbound, you know, are you on the lower state road, are you on the I road, you know, like you need to know these things. How we as truck drivers supposed to go around the loop, or we have that option to go around the loop depending on what you're carrying. We know hazmat cannot go on certain routes. Okay, let's get back to it. I know I be venturing off, but I'm gonna focus, right? Okay, so I lastly said, like, making sure that you can grow with the company. You know, you don't want to just be job hopping just because. I know we do sometimes, due to circumstances, stuff come up and you have to, you know, change jobs. It is what it is. I'm just saying, don't be changing 45 jobs and it only been 2 years. I'm just saying, don't do it. Okay. Another thing, think about what is like some short-term goals as being, you know, becoming a truck driver. Like, okay, I'm gonna become a truck driver, and you know, after 2 years, I want to have me a you know, I want to have $20,000 saved. That's possible. That is very doable. Okay. And like I said, you gotta look at your family structure. Maybe you have kids, maybe you don't have kids. You know, maybe you have you was living at home with your mom, and you blessed to be able to just stack this money and help mom out from time to time, but like really stack your money aggressively. Maybe you can put it in some account. So just have like short-term and long-term goals, guys, on what it is that you want to do when you become a truck driver. How you gonna you know, where you want to put your money. We should be already monitoring where we spend our money, period, as consumers, because at the end of the day, if you're investing in things that you can't, you know, that are not, you're not making assets, it's like we really be wasting money. I ain't gonna lie. I got one more thing for you guys, which is I'm trying to figure out where I wrote it. Let's just travel. Hold on, guys. I do not know what I wrote right here because I was wishy scrabbling. Oh my goodness. I'm so mad at myself. Yeah, so I couldn't remember what that's saying, so I'm scratching it out. And yeah. Oh, so this was another one. This will be my last one. So I was saying you should consider, like, you know, being open to different ideas. Everybody do things differently. Like I was stating, you got audio learner. I mean, you got like people that's audio learners, visual learners, kinetic learners, and you will deal with different kinds of people. We deal with different kinds of people in life, period. But depending on where you go, like, it can be very, very different. And you need to be open. You need to be willing to learn and adjust to your surroundings. Springfield, Missouri is very different from Miami, Florida, Miami-Dade, okay, county. So it was something to get used to. The different people, the way things is more slower pace up here. You don't got a lot of stuff going on, and not a lot of stuff that we do in Florida. So it was great. You know, it was something to adjust to, but at the end of the day, I made my dollar. I had a brand new truck. I really would say my experience was overall good becoming a truck driver, because I put my mind to it. We stuck it out, and we reaped the benefit. We reaped the benefit for sticking the goal, you know, sticking to the plan and doing the things that we need to do. Overall, just think about some of these things and really put a lot of stuff into play. Guys, don't be afraid to go for your dreams. If you want to be your own business woman, or, you know, a business owner, male business owner, like, Don't be scared to step out on faith and do it. Nothing beat a failure but to try. Make sure you save money. Make sure that you have a backup to a backup. Those equipments, you don't need to always buy brand new equipment to thrive out here. Just make sure you have a good mechanic and make sure you have things in place. Until next time, thank you so much for watching this video. I know it was long-winded, but it was just some of the ideas and things to consider when becoming a truck driver.